You just put it in your mouth and then you go.
You want it? No.
Yeah.
No, here you go.
No.
I don't know how I feel.
What is going on, Fractured Compass fans? I'm Mike.
I'm Bree.
And today we have the D2 crew, and we're here to talk about, them working at Knott Scary Farm. So,
Yep.
let's dive right in, but before we do that, we do have some snackies here. We're gonna start from delicious to disgusting.
Okay.
And
Do I have something to throw up in?
yes, we do actually.
Yeah.
Do we have trash can?
We have a trash can.
Just a trash can.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's not that
Let me
bad.
give me your
we haven't done these, so let's try. Everyone take a piece.
You said delicious.
Delicious.
What? You're making a mess.
Wait. Okay.
Why is everyone choosing? Are we gonna die?
You're probably right.
Oh, that's so good. Mm-hmm.
Probably.
It's crispy.
Excellent. So,
Any louder?
let's start off with the first question, shall we? Okay. So, we already know.
Not.
Fucking Bree, you do this shit. You start this off.
Okay. So answer one at a time. We'll start with Ruth first and then Alicia. Same question for both of you. What haunt event do you work at? Where in that haunt event do you work? And what is your character? And does that character have a name?
There's too many questions.
Oh my goodness.
I don't. I remember. I work at Knott.
So what haunt event do you guys work at?
Not Scary Farm. Or Not Scary Farm. I also work at Not Scary Farm.
Fantastic.
The difference is
where in the event do you work? This is going to be the twinsies answers. Just we
we both work at Ghost Town.
That's what happened. Ruth, what is your character?
My character is the orphan, and I'm a school mom. So, pretty much like a teacher, but more disciplinary.
Right on.
Excellent.
Ruth, does your character have a name?
Her name is Ophelia.
Ooh. I don't think a lot of people know that.
It was just figured out this year.
Decided.
Like, after I was like, yeah, I was like, Ophelia the orphan. That has a ring to it. And I was like, that's her name.
Yeah, you perfected the craft of the character, so now
Yeah.
we name her.
Yeah, so at first it was kind of like, oh, she's just an orphan. She doesn't have a name. Like, no one cares about her. And I was like, no, she needs a name.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Alicia.
does your school mom have a name?
I think I finally figured one out. So she is Miss Bellfire. Miss Dolores Bellfire. She's real spicy.
She sounds spicy. Not to be confused with Mrs. Doubtfire or
No.
any affiliate. Oh, very cool. So where did that name originate from? Like, what made you want to think, like, what made you feel like Ophelia was her name after all these years?
I was just going through old school names, and Ophelia was one that came up, and it just had a ring to it, and
Yeah.
I really liked that name.
Yeah, Ophelia feels like it has just like history behind it, I don't know, it's weird. Don't laugh at me. I'm asking the same question, and what made you,
Literally the same. Like, I went on Google, I was like, old teacher names. And there were some that were like really bad. I can't remember what they were, but they were really bad.
Mrs. Bellfire.
But then I found Miss Bellfire.
Yeah, she sounds spicy, because she is spicy.
And you're a Spitfire.
I think of the school bell and like that I just want to kids.
Fair enough.
I'm
Burn them and light them on fire. Get it? Bell fire.
Yeah.
I like it.
So do you personally have a haunt name? Because we've been going through a lot of haunters today. And
So like the haunt names.
so your personal haunt name, not your character's name.
Okay, so I have many, but Ducky is the main one, and the one that I was given was Mama Bates.
Okay.
Mama Bates. I like that.
Alicia?
Technically, no. Although 2 people in our area call me D2, so
That might stick.
That's gonna stick D2.
Yeah.
I love it.
Alright. So let's get the next snack.
Okay.
wow.
I'm gonna eat half of this right now. 'Cause
And
Parlay 6.
mm,
Okay, fill that with a G.
Yeah, I'm thinking it was a G too.
Oh, G. I'm dyslexic.
Oh,
It's
okay.
fine. I can't read. You didn't teach me well.
all right. So question number 2, and I'm actually very curious, both of you guys, where did you guys start your haunt history? Was it through Knott's or did it start somewhere else?
Well, mine started with Knott's, technically. I fangirled over a clown in Carnival, and this was back in high school, and I would dress like her at home and just scare people in my front yard, and that's what got me
I
into it.
remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember what her name was?
I think it was Angie. Angie's
Oh, yeah.
clown character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that name.
So it was a clown from Carnival, the Scare
Yes.
Zone, that originally inspired you to go into Not Scary Farm.
Yes.
Very cool. And you?
Literally, like just going as a guest. So I think I started going when I was in 5th or 6th grade with my mom and like a couple of my friends.
Me.
Yeah. Well, obviously.
And that's where you say like it sparked the passion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just going and seeing everything. Like,
Yeah.
it was always super, super cool. But you also did other things besides Knott's.
Oh, yeah, but what started,
Mm.
where I started from was Knott's. Yeah.
So the Knott's is definitely the biggest reason why you guys like have gotten to where you guys are at right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Very cool. And speaking of your guys' characters, what is your current character's backstory? Can you guys delve a little bit more into that?
So my character's backstory is she lived in the town over, and she basically murdered her parents and ran away. And she was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and she ran into She-Wolf, and She-Wolf killed her and buried her with her toys. This is a quick explanation of what had happened to her. And then the witch's curse had swept over the town at that same moment, and she was brought back
God.
from her grave.
So it comes into the time with another character too.
Yes.
Very, very cool. And you?
I do not have a backstory. So the only thing, as far as like inspirations and stuff, unless you're gonna get into that later.
No, you can say it right now.
Yeah. I never like thought of a like elaborate backstory or anything that helped me with the school mom. Like nothing ever came to mind. There were a couple little things where it's like, obviously she doesn't like kids, and then it developed into she just doesn't like anything. She thinks everything's gross, everything's dirty, nothing's up to her standards.
OCD.
Yeah. The biggest things the biggest inspirations that I used were like Miss Trunchbull from Matilda.
Oh,
she's
yes.
just nasty. And she's very almost like ironic of a teacher because she hates kids so much. There's like a line that she says that makes no sense. Where it's like, the perfect school would be where there's no children at all. It's like, what is a school then? Like, hello?
Mrs. Bellfire.
But it's like, that is the level of hatred that you aspire to have.
And that's a level of hatred that you've definitely displayed on the streets.
Tried.
So, very, very good job. And I think we're gonna move on to our next snacky here.
The squeaky chair that needs some.
We need to get some WD-40 up in this bitch.
Waffles.
I'm sorry, I'm like,
Wafer.
alright everyone, here.
As Bree's just.
Let me make it as inconvenient as possible for the
so
grab
much
this crap.
today. Rue.
I can't eat.
Salem,
Salem, no.
Oh, I'm fine.
we're filming.
Just like coconut.
We're filming.
So
It does taste like coconut.
you don't have to eat it all if you would like to just put it back on the plate. That's fine.
Eat mine.
I want to look at your fingers too.
So was there any particular moments that stood out to you this season?
And this can be
many.
pertained to like guests interactions, this can be pertained to behind the scenes, a really good scare. Like what was the biggest thing of this year that you were like, whoa, like that was super memorable? That's the most awkward way to say that I feel stupid.
Well, like the one thing that stands out to me, it's the funniest thing ever. But literally, it's Candyman riding his cane into the orphan And Orphan
Don't
just
stab
looks
people.
up. Deer in the headlights, like, what's happening? And too late, like, tried to step out of the way, but just gets mowed over by Candyman. It was the funniest thing. And to explain that later on was really fun. People just looking at me like, well, he did what?
What's going on?
And I'm like, yeah. You got kebab. Yep. You stab your friends.
Orphan kebab.
Alicia, what about you? What was your favorite moment or particular moment that stood out to you this season?
So, my memory's really bad, and I can't think of anything specific. I know there was a lot of stuff, but I'll think of like one really good scare that I got.
Yeah,
because
go
I'm
for
really
it.
proud of it.
Yeah.
But it just sucks because there were people around, but nobody was paying attention to the situation, so nobody actually got to see it. So essentially, the area I was in Ghost Town was on Market Street.
Mm-hmm.
So it's over kind of by the teepees or whatever.
The ruins.
over there. Yeah, the ruins. And I was walking past the bathrooms that are over there. So if you're like walking towards, if you're walking towards the train tracks,
Yeah.
you're gonna be on your right hand side. And there was a family of about 5 or 6 people over there, just walking towards the bathroom already. And I hear, it was either mom or grandma, like an older lady, definitely older, go, I really need to use the restroom. And immediately my character was just like, there's no restroom breaks here. You need to get to class, like just on her, like freaking her out. And she's like, ooh. Like that classic old lady noise where you're just like, doesn't know what to do. So she just takes off because she's close enough to the bathroom already. And then the rest of her family is just laughing, like they're like, whatever, this doesn't scare me. And I hear to my left, kind of behind me, I can't believe you guys left me over here all by myself, this, that, and the other. And all I had to do, I was still facing forward, but I snapped my neck really fast to look at her. And she was just like, and darted to the restroom as fast as she could and belly dived to get there faster. Like she full on like
I need to get to home.
I need to get to home base. Like I'm going for it. And I don't know.
You just slide into the
I don't
restroom.
know if she was laughing. I definitely didn't know what to do at that point. I was kind of like,
You gonna run
"You
away?
good? Are you okay?" And then her family's like, "Why did you do that? You didn't have to dive to get away." Like they were laughing, but they were like, "Why?" And I was kind of like, just making sure she was okay, like lubing, and then I just dipped. I like just
Should have just been like safe.
missed opportunity.
Yeah.
But it was funny, and that stood out to me a lot. I think that was one of my favorites.
That's great. That's probably one
I
of the
had
most
to like
craziest.
go backstage and laugh. I was like, bye.
You know, it's a good one when you have to go backstage and just take a minute to yourself to gather your character back.
So, speaking of scares, what is one of you guys' favorite scare tactic?
That's a good one because I have many.
Mhm.
I like distracted scaring, like being like you don't see it coming. So I'll be walking, say towards Jackie, and then just dip and scare you. You don't see that
Just like
coming.
unexpected.
So like with me, I'd be playing like one that really stands out is I'm playing with Bovine, and I'm pretending to be a bull and like coming up to him playing, and then people are like, oh, that's super cute, and then I'll turn around, scream or giggle, and they're like, never mind, like stop. Do whatever that is you're doing.
Yeah.
That's my favorite scare tactic.
You do like the element of surprise.
Yes.
Yes.
I would say same, honestly, because it works so well to just sit there and be preoccupied doing something else. Because I would do that a lot. Like my main prop, or my only prop, was a book, and it was one of my favorite things to use. And in the beginning, all I would do is like hit it really hard, or like there was a move that I would do. It was kind of sketchy, but I would like go in really fast when I was moving really quick and make it look like I was going to hit the person with it. And I've had people like back then like, no,
Matrix.
help. But it's just, it works really well.
Yeah.
And then it evolved into like me opening the book and flipping through the pages, looking like I'm reading. Sometimes I would mutter, and you can always hear people. Like I had a lot of hair with the wig, and you would be surprised how well I could still hear.
Yeah.
But I could hear people like, oh my god, she's crazy. she's talking to herself, because I would sit there and just kind of be like, oh, these kids, like, they don't know what they're doing, they never listen to me, this, that, and the other, and then I just go and slam my book. You'd be surprised at how many people I would just be walking, doing whatever, have the book open, and then just close it, like, as I pass somebody, and they'd be like, what's happening?
Convulsion, you know?
Super, super subtle.
I got to
Already-
experience that when I took your book and was just slamming it.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
like-
people.
So what do you guys look for in a person to like, okay, I'm gonna scare the individual. I worded that wrong, let's redo this, because damn.
Damn.
Because damn. What do you guys look like in the individual for like a good trait to being scared? I worded that weird as well, but you guys know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
She's trying to eat the food.
I normally look for just someone that's kind of tense and just kind of closed. Like they're closed. They're not open.
Things are close to themselves.
Yeah, they're
You
close
got
to
it.
themselves. They have their arms down crossed.
Yeah.
Bigger guys, if they're walking by and they have their arms crossed, they're trying to act tough, but they're actually pretty
It's kind of like that
scared.
security blanket, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm safe if I'm tucked in.
Yeah.
So you look for that.
Yeah, that's what I look for.
There's a couple things that I feel like I've noticed that I've picked up on that I didn't think I was going to be good at, like pinpointing people,
Mhm.
and I didn't think I had that hard of a time with it. But I noticed, like, when you talk to people backstage, you'll hear that, like, oh, I like, you know, this works for me 60% of the time, or this, that, or the other. Like, there's always a percentage of like how well your scare works, or like how well you're good at picking out people. And I've noticed myself doing that. What I look for a lot of the time, especially if it's a group, I look for the person who gets scared. So the person that's scared like easily, when somebody else scares them and the group is laughing, that's when I go in, because they drop their guard.
You want to get the laughing
They're
group.
more vulnerable
That too.
because they're like, oh, haha, that was so funny. And then the second you go in, the whole group gets scared. So that's something that I've noticed.
So you look for people who drop their guard,
Yeah.
especially when it comes.
So you find the scaredy cat, and then when the group's like, haha, you got scared, you go in for the rest of the group. So somebody already got the one scare, the good scare, and then you kind of go in and kind of finish it off. And that tends to work.
Smart. Yeah.
That does work too.
A good tactic.
Yeah.
Because I remember these ones. I'm just not a particular fan of, like, what's that Mexican candy that's like a lollipop and it's kind of spicy?
Like Lucas?
Kind of, yes, but it's like
Like the chili stuff.
the
that's on
chili
top.
stuff. Don't hate me, but I'm not a huge fan of that, and I think this is just a very condensed block of sugar from that.
It is. Probably.
It's good. Actually, you know what? This.
Ew.
Yeah, I'm just not a
Ew.
huge fan of this flavor.
It's not what I thought it was.
You fucking not.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah. Some people love it. I just don't.
I like it.
Ugh.
Can you please stop?
You know when you like eat something too, and this isn't even that bad. It just shows how much I don't eat this, but like your like jaw gets a little like.
Yeah, gets that. Ugh.
Yeah.
All right, well.
All right. So we're gonna head to fan questions, and I think that there was some specific questions that were
No.
asked.
You read my last one slowly. Any louder?
Let's make this just like the most fucking obnoxious. And all our system.
Everyone's coughing.
Be a good boy.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna throw that chair out the window.
Were there any?
The young Garf. Any tips for auditions?
That's a good one.
I'll let you
Well,
Since you had to audition this year.
Yeah.
well, technically I auditioned last year too. It just wasn't, it was different. So between maze auditions and street auditions, it was different. So, the biggest thing that I constantly like told myself, at least for auditions, like going in, I'm like, I need to remember to have fun for myself. Because beforehand, I was in my head, I think, a lot about, oh, I really need to have like a character nailed and like how they're gonna walk and how they're gonna scare, and I need to have that in mind. But the person that I am, I just kind of like dropped all of that. I'm like, nah, I can't do that. Like, it just doesn't come naturally to me because having something staged, it just feels almost robotic. Like I'm sitting there like, okay, and now what do I do? Because I've run out of things to do.
Where are the instructions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like if I freeze, now I have nothing more to give them, and then I'm just done. Which is like, I feel like the worst thing I can do is to stop before they tell me to stop. But I just kind of went in there and just let go, essentially. I feel like you have to just take yourself out of that headspace and not be afraid. I know that's like easier said than done. Because I'm like, yeah, my heart was racing because I was super excited, but also very, very nervous. And then just having 3 very, like, who you would consider very intimidating people in there, you just are kind of like, they're going to judge me. Obviously, they're judging me because they have to decide whether they like me or not.
They have to judge you.
Yeah.
But you have to just kind of be like, this is fun.
You have to be
And-
comfortable having fun.
Yeah.
You have to be able to let go.
Yeah, just let go, have fun, and don't
Don't
overthink it. Don't make yourself look like a fool because they're looking for you to make yourself look like a
Absolutely.
fool.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because they want you to be big. They want you to be bigger than yourself, I think. Or at least that's what I would look for. Because they're constantly like, you're competing with rides and the noises and people screaming and the ambient music and the lights and everything around you that puts the show together. You're, in a way, kind of competing with that. So you have to be this big character in order to stand out and actually scare.
Would you say that you would put more importance on finding your voice or finding your movement in auditions? What would you put more focus on? Or both?
I guess it would be a little of both.
A little of both.
Because
I think more movement than anything. Make sure to do things forward and do things back. Because if you're auditioning for streets, you're on a stage that's 360, so they can see you all around you.
Right.
Yeah.
So you guys would say, like, for anyone who's auditioning for Knott's next year, to really let it go and have fun with it, but give it your all, and you would say focus the most, if you can, on how you're presenting yourself.
I guess, like, actually having a character and a character walk, because that's something that you hear all season too.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a big thing. They don't want to see a monster walking as a normal person, because that's a big issue. Because people drop that all the time, because it's exhausting to do that for 78 hours or whatever,
Yeah.
a long period of time.
Yeah.
So
Hunched
I think,
over and
yeah,
all
I
that
guess
stuff.
they would look for that more. And then if you have a unique voice, that's when I'm like, it just depends on what they're looking for. Because maybe there's one person on the panel who's like, I'm really looking for this. You know,
Right.
I really want somebody with a unique voice or like a strong character voice because I want a really like definitive character or something. You know.
Right.
But I guess a character walk would be more important.
So, like, well, both then. I think how I said it was just like movement is what matters, but the voice matters just as much.
Yeah.
It's just depending on what you are really going for, and just overall just have fun.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
some monsters don't have a sound. Some
Yeah,
are very
some are like-
silent. They have nothing, and they're just creepy.
But that would
It's
just mean you need to give it your all, because you don't have that voice. Give it your all with your body movements to tell the story.
Yes.
Who made your mask?
So the same person made
David TLE_. Who made your mask?
James.
Olivia Panic, and James Contreras.
Yeah.
I don't know their
I'll put their
handles.
Instagram handles in.
Yeah.
Put them down
Put 'em
below. In the link down below.
Somewhere.
Plug.
Plug them in.
They're fantastic.
Yeah.
They work well together. I know James does a lot of the sculpting, and all. Yay! Good shit.
Do you have to go again?
Just like I got cat style with my tail in the fucking air. Okay, ready?
Alright, well, yeah. So where are we at?
Uh,
James is great at sculpting.
Yeah,
one
He did
more.
the main sculpt.
One more fan question.
One more from this one. What kind of scares will we be looking forward to next year by photos _by_askier?
What kind of scares will we be looking forward to next year?
You just have to come in the park and
Yeah.
see.
Yep.
We'll see you in the fog, baby.
Yeah.
Thrash 618, I think you guys know him. If you could work with another monster from any other haunt, who or where would it be?
That's a good one.
Wow.
Ooh.
That's a really
That's a
good
thinker.
question.
Hard question.
That's a-
I don't know. I have no friends.
Or like what, like let's narrow it down, like what other haunt would you choose if say Knott's decided not to do anything?
It's a strong variation.
I know.
Question.
Well, he said, or where would it be?
True.
That's a hard
It would kind of
one.
be cool to work the alone experience.
Heard
To
a
just
lot
like
about that.
totally mess with people's minds. Like there's just something about psychological
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
terror and trips that just exciting.
Yeah.
I think it's exciting just
No.
because I went to school for it, so I think it's just entertaining in a way because it just really it sends people like it's
Yeah.
no joke.
Well, and like nothing's scarier than like your own mind, right? So
Mhm.
if you like really take fear onto that, it's
But I
Take
wouldn't
fear.
know who to work it with.
the,
If I could like pick somebody from another haunt to like be like, we're gonna do this.
She's like the naked one. The one that like literally just like dances in front of you.
That would be creepy to see. Like I know they're not from another haunt, but to see Merrick in that like Merrick.
Oh my
So
God.
not Adam, but Merrick's character in the Alone experience.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't like the Alone? Correct me if I'm wrong. I can already hear the comment section reading right now, but isn't the Alone experience like they use a lot of it's just blackout, and then they use a lot of like strobe lights at like various moments to just like screw with your senses. Like they'll literally, isn't there like a part? Am I thinking of the right thing where like they'll bring in like someone who's like completely naked,
I
and then
think
you're just
that's
in the room
blackout.
by yourself with them?
That's black.
That's
Oh, it's blackout. Okay,
Yeah.
what's Alone then?
They
I'm a
do a
full
lot
on-
more psychological stuff. So
The blackout was
you'll-
psychological.
like
too.
they'll take away a certain sense, and then make you use your other ones to try to
There's
just
still-
experience things.
I think there's a discretionary thing with the Alone experience because there can be nudity. So I'm not sure if that's the same thing. There's certain. So I've heard a couple stories, and there was one. It wasn't where the Alone experience is, but it was like a promotional thing that they did kind of with Midsummer. Like they didn't have a booth or anything, but there were like QR codes everywhere and you'd scan them. One of my friends who's in the Hollow was telling us about it, and it was really, really interesting because apparently he was doing it and there was like stuff in the elevator, like there was just different like Easter eggs everywhere to find. And then he got all the way into the parking structure and there was a dude just in all black, and then he hooded him and like walked him somewhere, and then like whispered all this stuff in his ear, like super sketchy, like you're in a parking lot by yourself, because you have to do it by yourself. And there's a dude in black who comes up to you, puts a hood on you, starts whispering stuff into your ear, apparently slipped something into his pocket that he didn't find until way later. Like he was like, I didn't feel him touch me, but there was stuff in my pockets that I didn't put in there.
Dang.
And
Okay,
then
so this is different.
He waits for 5 minutes, takes the hood off, the dude's gone, and there's like nothing, So it's a trip. That's why I'm like, it's terrifying.
That
And that's why
messes
I'm
with
like,
their psyche.
Merrick would be so good.
Yo, yeah. Totally different thing than I was thinking of, but that still sounds just as terrifying.
That's
Mhm.
terrifying.
That's so cool.
Well,
you?
I've worked Queen Mary before for the Sliders Unite. That was fun. To do that and actually have a character would be a fun one. But I would actually probably want to go over to Horror Nights, Universal Studios, because I would love to do Chainsaw. I would love to do Chainsaw. That's like my next goal. But it's such a far drive that it's just not possible. Someone to scare with over there, I would say Corey Marr, because I have never got to scare with him. My year was his last year was
The year before.
the year before I started on Ghost Town, and I would just love to scare with him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. So, shall we move on to the weird part of this interview?
Yes. This is now where the treats are getting a little less fun. This is my third time doing it. This is your fourth.
You in particular, or both of you, because you guys both don't.
And
You
listen.
do not have to do this.
You don't.
It is
It
optional.
like clanks.
Well, it's just beef and chicken for me.
I don't know. I'm a vegetarian.
If I throw it in your mouth,
So
No. Trapped.
you can
Trapped flashbacks when they make you eat bugs. Bag and trapped. You get bugs or
So-
you get spoiled milk.
let's ask you a question while you're deciding
I'd rather
whether you
do
want
bugs.
to eat a cricket
this
first.
doesn't even look like a cricket.
It has no legs!
I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. and
Ew,
go back.
I'd rather it have no legs.
You'd rather have no legs? I don't like this.
Like,
I'm literally Brendan Ferris, like.
Right.
Like a man.
Ew, okay, I'm sorry. Ew.
Ew.
I just swallowed mine like a pill.
you just put it in your mouth and then you go.
You wanna? No.
Yeah.
No, here you go.
No. I don't know how I feel.
It tastes like a nut.
I feel like it.
There's a chocolate wafer that hasn't made it.
I'm a little bee, I'm not gonna need it.
Here's your water. You
So
just have-
good. Is this my water?
Yeah.
You gotta take it. If I take it, you have to take it.
Cute pinks, just like a
And they like
pill.
fucking sell it as if like people are just gonna take handfuls of this and just take it
That's
on. Like,
That's a lot.
there's a lot of them.
Ew.
You have to take it.
And a 1, and a 2, and a 3. Just drink. Just drink. It's fine.
Everything's fine.
Yep.
All right.
What is
Yeah.
it? Coffee?
It's
Coffee and chocolate does not translate, right? Tastes like you just bit into a puff
Did
of
you
sand.
just put it in my fucking water?
Continue. Show me Frank to get Frank. Frank show now.
Frank is in the title.
It had like a coffee
Michael.
taste. It's stuck. It's stuck in my mouth.
It's like,
The little pieces of
Ready for
cricket.
this? No.
I've had like 5 today.
Yeah, no. Pretty good.
That's disgusting.
Alright.
Well, you made it to a pie.
So, the next part of the little tricks. I don't know why I have 4 of these, but I do. So, we're gonna play a little game.
This is
When I
worse
walked in the room and saw Beanboozled on the table, I was like,
than a pie.
So we're gonna play a little game. You guys are gonna come up with 2 truths and a lie for each of you. And Mike and I are gonna guess which one is the lie. If we win, you guys have to choose one of the beans to eat. If we lose, then Mike and I have to choose.
so you have to figure out what is the lie.
We have to figure out what is the lie.
You're gonna be bad at this.
I'm gonna be bad at
You're
this.
gonna be bad at this.
You guys aren't. You're not good liars.
I'm gonna shove a Beanboozle up your nose.
That's not where she wanted to put it. Is it your ear?
So I was born in the hospital near Knott's Berry Farm. I started on Ghost Town in 2015. And
If you-
when I was younger, I was actually terrified of Halloween.
I'm just watching you
is that
play
the
with
lie?
the
You were born in a
Beanboozle.
hospital near not scared.
No, that's the truth.
What was the lie?
The lie was my start time. I actually started in 2016.
I was like, I know
It was
she's
in
been
2015.
on.
And I was terrified of Halloween as a child.
I learned this from Amy Buck.
I was like, I figured that like was.
That's not.
Just cheating.
Enjoy that.
What does it taste like?
It might not be the.
Mike, face the camera.
What was the
Pranked.
flavor?
Pranked on the.
What was it?
Mine's kiwi. Or something.
Is it?
Yeah.
And you didn't like it?
No, I was just baiting her to try it because if I was like,
You fuck.
ew, gross, she was.
You both could have been.
If I said like, this one's delicious,
So
she was not
kiwi
gonna try
or-
that.
That
What?
wasn't like horrible.
What was it?
Now I don't like
I don't
it.
know. I'd have to look at the thing.
The flavor's getting bad now, but it was like, it's really sweet.
I do know that this is either
Toothpaste.
toothpaste or.
Honestly, I'm cool with the toothpaste
Berry.
one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, berry, like
berry.
blueberry,
Can't really
berry
complain.
blast or something like that.
Okay.
Go.
Okay, so we'll start with the easy one. I used to play drums. I accidentally swallowed a sewing needle. The only art class I've taken is a pottery class.
The only art class you've taken is a pottery class.
I'm ready to just take it. It's a sewing needle. I think it's a sewing needle.
I agree.
Do you not agree? Or the art class. Because I
I
believe-
could see her taking the only art class. I mean, she's a very gifted drawer.
Artist.
Artist.
Drawer.
Drawer, whatever. Sorry.
Drawer.
She do the picture good.
Better.
She drawn on the goodest picture.
This thing.
She drawn 2 of those things up there.
She drawed. You want to go with the needle?
I'm gonna go with the needle.
Okay, let's go with the needle.
So I used to play drums. I haven't played in 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
I did accidentally swallow a sewing needle. I was sewing a patch onto one of my denim jackets, and I put it in my mouth, forgot about it, swallowed it. Don't know what happened. I'm still here, so I guess it's fine. And I've never taken a pottery class. I've taken 2 art classes in high school.
GG.
Art.
Berry blast.
You both got very blast.
Yeah.
Good one.
Oh, lucky.
That was actually really good.
That made up for the dog food, the sweaty socks.
You've gotten every bad one. I haven't gotten a single
You guys
bad
had
Beanboozle.
stink bug earlier too.
Stink bug.
Yeah, that one was
That's
nasty.
gross.
No thanks.
Okay.
Right
So-
on.
Thank you, D2 crew, for coming in and doing an interview with us. We really appreciate it. Lots of
Instagram handles
knowledge.
if you want to add them.
Yep.
Do you need to want to plug anything?
No. Alicia Duckworth. I'm lame.
What's my
Ruthless.
Oh, we'll put them
You
in
don't even know
the.
your own.
We'll put them in the link down below.
_ less22
And your other one?
And GTS.
and GTS _ orphan.
So thank you guys very much
So plug it in.
for watching this video. We'll put those links down in the description down below. We very much appreciate you guys watching this channel. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. Like this video, and always be ready.
So you never know your compass will take you.
I'm done.
Bye. Oh, and subscribe to Mike Poops is my new channel. Yay, bye.
Bye.